There we go.
We live, y'all.
What's up?
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? Thank you for tuning in to the Unhinged radio show live. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, and I'm turned all the way up tonight because I am surrounded by my tribe. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left y'all without a dope tribe to listen to. So we have had it for your summertime viewing and listening pleasure. Before we get it in, I want to go ahead and welcome I miss y'all. I want to go ahead and welcome my tribe to the platform on tonight. How you doing tonight, King AP?
I make sure I'm muted. What's up, y'all? I am doing very, very good. Feeling the love, man. Feeling the love. Greatness is here. I spent my 17th anniversary with my wife this month. I don't know if this is the part I get to say what I've been up to, but I'm excited to be here.
You know what to do.
Okay, shout out to my boo. What's up, Toy? We celebrated 17 years of marriage, and I am so happy. And we just been making memories and breaking generational curses and doing all this stuff. But we'll talk more about that later. But I'm so happy to be here. What's going on, Tribe?
What's really
Awesome.
good? What's going on, Miss Audrey?
Woo! So happy to see your faces. I'm happy to be back amongst the tribe. Been keeping myself busy while we've been off the stream. But just so God has placed the word contentment in me in the past 2 weeks and been confirming it. So I've really been going in and studying about being content and what that really means. So that's where I am right now.
I love it. I love it. And you just actually, that I will be content in every circumstance. I love that song, Jireh,
Yep.
And that reinforces that. And being content, you actually are equating the meaning that you are so satisfied. So I ain't even mad at you, Audrey. How you doing tonight, Natural D?
Girl, I'm tired. But here's the thing. It's my birthday month. It's the 8th month of the year. Listen, it's a whole 8th moment, new beginnings. I'm excited. As tired as I am, it don't matter because the turn up is for real. And tomorrow is the day. This head gonna be gone. Amen and amen.
We might have to circle back to that one.
I want to say what?
Rewind that back. I feel like my DJ Khaled is about to come out.
Take it in because I'm not gonna look the same come tomorrow.
All right, Queen.
You gonna fade?
Look, it's on the table.
Stop. Sorry, yeah.
Get you a fade. Your waves would be serious should you, go
At
to
least
dark
on the
seas.
side. At least the side might be faded.
Come on, Jada.
And how are you tonight, Miss Karen?
I'm soaking in all of the love for my tribe. We definitely miss y'all, and glad that we are able to give the folks this summertime treat. We coming to you all the way live. I'm at to write that down to look up that contentment because it's a lot of things going on out here in these streets. But God being amazing like He is. Woo, He carrying us all the way to this August month. And I promise you, I blinked. It was January yesterday. So now, I got to turn the tables and ask Tilted, how are you doing?
Girl, you already know what it is. I'm out here living my Afro puff life. I'm enjoying my hair growth journey as I took another 2 inches off and it decided it wanted to bounce right on back. With me saying that, of course, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Miss Lakia Morgan of the Grow and Glow Hair Oil Company. And that's what I've been using, y'all. So she got a post somewhere in the Unhinged with Tilted Halo Facebook group. It's up there. And for those of you all who are part of the group, I post that to provide you all an opportunity to network your business services. I'm from within the tribe. You'll hear me acknowledge all of the greatness in the tribe over and over again. If you need it, I promise you somebody up in that group got it. So enough of my brief advertising opportunity for our sister Lakia. I got to tell y'all about this lantern fly I had to deal with this morning. Can I talk to you about the thug bugs in the Lehigh Valley?
You mean the bugs
Yeah,
that don't
I
bug
call
right?
it thug bugs.
Hey,
Huh?
so hold on one second. You talked about networking and stuff like that. If y'all are in the chat right now, go ahead and share the stream. Share it with your timeline. Invite everybody to come along with the conversation. We're gonna have a good time tonight. So I see there's a couple of people in the chat right now. Just click this the share button right now, and let's get a wider audience going. All right, good. That's it.
Good. Thank you
Awesome.
so much, APC. This is why y'all my tribe, because it's all of us and none of us at all times.
That's right.
I appreciate you. So yeah, back to the thug bugs. All right. I'm driving, grooving to my, sounds to calm my spirit as I go on into the office, and I'm at a stoplight, and I noticed that one of those lanternflies just decided to land on the hood of my car. So I was like, all right, he's just chilling for a while. When I pull off, he's going to fly away. No, he did not. This bug decided he wanted to car surf. So I went a little bit faster, thinking he was going to pop off at the wind velocity hitting him. No. You know what this bug did? The bug legitimately turned around, and I believe the bug was staring at me. And that bug, I promise you, little suction on the bottom of his little feet, he was holding on to my car like he was holding on to salvation. Baby, I watched that bug the entire time I drove to work, because I like to ride with my windows down. And I was like, look, he might fly off and bust a left and be inside the car with me. So we got to keep an eye on him. Well, honey, I have to tell you, a 15-minute ride later, I pull into the parking spot at work, throw the car in the park. The lantern fly jumps off the car. So I'm sitting there, because y'all know I ain't got no sense. Okay, I wake up in the morning bugging. So I'm looking at the bug going, what, you need some benefits today? What, you need some snacks? Y'all having struggles in the ecosystem where you can't feed yourself and your little bug tribe appropriately, that you had to ride to work with me today? But allow me to digress, y'all. Y'all know I could go on and on with thug bug commentary. Have you all been dealing with the thug bugs lately?
I haven't, but your thug bug got a cousin frog, because that was the hottest thing on TikTok last week. A frog caught a ride on somebody's car too.
Oh my goodness.
Hold
Clearly,
on,
they know
get
these
life
gas
on the
prices
window.
is up. They know these gas prices is up. They literally catching a ride. Say no, we're not gonna do it.
So basically, I am now an Uber for the lantern flies. Is that what you're saying?
Ride share.
Right, yes,
That's
right. Yes.
They ain't got no gas money, Karen. I got a problem with that.
Listen, they said they need a lift.
literally
Cute.
I like that, B. I like that.
That was cute.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. He got wings, though. He got his own lift built in. Don't talk to me. But yeah, I laughed at myself and my own thoughts as, you know, I had my little passenger on my way to work this morning. I didn't see him again, but I'm grateful that at least in my little neck of the woods, the lantern flies are not wreaking as much havoc as they have in years past. And again, I'm absolutely grateful for that. Karen, look like you got something to say to that.
The only thing I could say is these southern bugs of all kinds, they take over when they get warm like this. They just outside, and so it's kind of we being held hostage on the inside, just that we could let them go ahead and do what they need to do out there in nature. So that's the only thing I could say for that, is that while they are out in those streets, I just try to keep my door shut or skedaddle inside really quickly so that I don't get any additional tenants in the house that also not paying no rent. They out here getting free utilities, and I just got a whole problem with it. But we're gonna do what we can do.
We're going to do what we can do. And y'all, again, another thug bug that I've been dealing with lately are the cicada killing wasps.
Ooh.
Yeah, they seem to have taken a liking to my backyard. Y'all pray for your girl that I don't break my ankle sprinting, trying to take my garbage out to the end of the fence, trying to outrun these huge bugs that look like bees that sting. I've never been stung by a bee. Don't ever want to be because I hear it hurts. But everything I've come to learn about these cicada killers is they're not thinking about us humans as much as I'm thinking about them. So y'all just pray that, again, I stay safe and protected. And the Lord is truly a fence all around me of off every single day to keep the bugs out of my immediate area. So again, we're going to get into it. If you've been in here for the last 5 minutes, you already know we are just getting started. Thank you so much again for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show Live. What's going on, AP?
You missed the comment. The comment said somebody said they got roaches that fly down south.
What's up, Michael? Yes, I've heard about those. Don't ever want to witness it, sir. No. Have you ever witnessed it, Michael? I want to see that in the comment.
I haven't in Brooklyn. So yeah.
Look, once they get past a certain size, I'm out.
You know, these are like granddaddy roaches that fly. Yeah.
Well,
granddaddy roaches. Wow.
You made it on screen, Michael Colvin, and I can imagine some of you may or may not know on how you can get your name on the screen with us too. Go on ahead and become a member of StreamYard. To sign up is absolutely free. We love the audience participation. We are looking forward to continuing to engage you in the comments. So yeah, we're going to get into it. Tonight we're going to have that little conversation merrily down the stream. We are going to be graced by another amazing sports segment, DAP Sports, brought to you by our very own Natural D and our boy AP. And we will be introducing a new segment on tonight featuring our own in-house self-care strategist. Y'all know I keep myself surrounded by some informative folks. They got many, many gifts. Audrey Hightower, self-care. And then, of course, we're going to get into that segment. What's really going on? Don't want to spoil any of those topics, so let's get back to the top. Let me get my throat together. Karen, what time is it?
You know, I think are we gonna be talking about what's really going on? Because listen,
not yet.
Are we merrily? Okay, then that's the merrily down the stream jiggle there. I already know that. That's the merrily. Okay, here we go.
It's time to point your remote control at your TV screen. Merrily, 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 find something to stream. All right, you like that? Oh, wait a minute. AP got some new choir director tools over there. What you got to direct? We got remote controls.
Yeah.
We got remote controls in hand. My phone doubles as a remote control, so it also counts.
Oh, you fancy.
All right. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. All right.
So yes, it is time for Merrily Down the Stream. I want to go ahead and who wants to talk about what they've been watching first? Because I'll be watching some Crazy Men. Okay, AP, is that you?
Yeah.
What you was watching?
My wife and I just started watching this show on Netflix called Keep Breathing. It's number one. I think it's the number one thing on Netflix right now. But we just happened to, come across it, and it was real interesting. This lady's going through some type of dilemma where she needs to get somewhere, and out of nowhere, the plane just crashes. And so it was only her and two other people on the plane. It's a private plane, and the plane crashes, and now she's literally on an island by herself.
Wow.
And so so she has to deal with all this stuff that's going on in her mind from stuff in her past. But now she's like on this island by herself, and we're trying to. And it's only 6 episodes, so I guess they're just trying to see if people want to watch it. But we're like locked into this thing, and so we're like 3 episodes in. But it's a real good watch so far to see how it's coming together. But yeah, it's called Keep Breathing, is what it's called.
Keep Breathing. Okay. Yep. Who got next? D.
I know.
Hold on, because I was like, wait, there's another movie I know I just watched, and I'm having a senior moment.
Because I see your face, you looking.
I am. But either way, I can talk about what I got sucked into last night. So last night, Netflix, the one and only, sucked me in because Jill Scott's beautiful face was on the front. So I got sucked into Love Beats Rhymes.
Okay.
So it is a movie. Please watch. It is the dichotomy between rappers and poets, and then slam poetry on the side. So Common is in it, of course. They made. So, but I encourage you to watch it because you watch a young lady who is trying to become a rapper. She's trying to break into the industry, but she's still trying to get her degree per her mother's wishes, and she ends up in a poetry class with Jill Scott. So go see it. And then I got caught up in The Gray Man. So if you like action, that's all you.
Yeah.
The Gray Man?
The Gray Man.
I did see that come up. I scrolled past it. So, okay, I'll scroll back.
Yeah, I had to go past it until somebody I know said, oh, yeah, it's a good movie. So I was like, well, let me go back.
I don't trust everybody's.
True.
I trust yours, though. I trust yours. So that's
a good action movie. It's a good action movie.
That part.
Other than that, Bridgerton 3, I'm waiting because they're taping. Amen.
Speaking of waiting, I'm waiting for Harlem too. Just gonna put second season of Harlem with our girl Megan Good. See what's going on with that one there. But I know in the past week, actually 2 weeks, I also binge right on through the Upshaws.
I saw that too.
Yeah, they on season 2 with all of their shenanigans, but they good writing. So if you want to laugh, and I don't think it was too many life lessons in it, but definitely a lot of laughs. And try to stay out of trouble. That's pretty much the moral of the story. So a good watch. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Audrey, what have you been watching?
So haven't been watching much. So does an Audible count?
Yes. It
okay.
is some form of sensory entertainment.
Yeah. True. So on Audible, I have been listening to the 1619 Project.
Nice.
And
nice.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I was introduced to it during Black History Month while watching I was plugged into one of these Black History Month YouTube things I was watching. And so I started listening to it, and it is amazing. It's about Black history in America, about slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, how it started, all the different various impacts it has had in America today, from our music to our fashion to our thought process. And it talks a lot about the struggles that we've had. Some things I knew, some things I didn't know. So I'm still listening to it. So that's what I'm kind of plugged into every morning while I'm brushing my teeth and putting on my makeup.
That's on my list. And the author will be at Lehigh University in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
It's finna be popping in the Lehigh Valley.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's finna be popping. Well, y'all already know I watch a broad variety of things on television, and this past weekend I actually got caught up in the Flowers of the Attic, the Origin miniseries on Lifetime, and it takes you it back, and it gives you the backstory behind Grandmama. The woman that locked them all up in that attic. Seemed like sis had a whole lot of practice locking the people that up in that attic before we saw the movie Flowers in the Attic. Of course, we know that movie has been remade, and we've also seen a couple of sequel spinoffs from it. But it was interesting to me to surmise all 4 episodes, because again, I'm all the way caught up. Grandmama went through some things, all right? And through watching these 4 episodes, you legitimately see how the root of bitterness can slowly take its root in someone over the course of time. and to see her beginning to how her child and her grandchildren ended up being held hostage at the end was very, very interesting stuff. So for those of you who have it, check it out. It's on Lifetime. They rerun everything a few times. And of course, those of you who subscribe to the restreaming platforms like Hulu, it's probably available for you there as well. And of course, y'all know I'm out here representing them folks from down in the valley. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Because I'm a little bit righteous and ratchet all at the same time. So yes, I am actually enjoying season 2 of P-Valley. And I'm also all the way caught up in All the Queen's Men, starring the lovely Miss Eva, top model winner years ago, with her beautiful self there in season 2. And I was praying for myself because I'm like, Lord, why am I enjoying all of this entertainment? It's basically that comes up out of the storylines of the people who work in that strip club. What's that about? I'm talking to the Lord about that. Maybe I'm called to go in there and pull some of these chicks off the pole. Who knows?
I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with you just to make sure.
Get your permission slip.
I'm going for purposes. We gotta make sure everybody all right.
Toya, I'm gonna call you later, girl.
Toya?
We collecting permission slips before you leave.
Yes.
So it's not a no.
And she gonna hold the anointed oil.
It's a mission field, and there's plenty of mission. We got stuff we gotta do.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they call it now.
Hey, church is where we are. Come on now, you already know.
We reminded the ministry of Jesus. He went to the
everywhere
that the folks thought was maybe
right.
a bit shady or unrespectable, but he came in and shined a light. But we're gonna see whether Toya allow you 6 or 12 feet to go
exactly.
up. Exactly.
That ain't you. That
keep
ain't
your
you.
distance. That we just want to keep everybody safe. And as y'all embarking on year 18, we here for the 20th party and the 25th. Now we had a question in our fan shout outs, and so Michael asks, did you answer him?
Yeah, I got him. Yep.
AP, all good. We want to make sure we get people. Listen, we about to fill up your calendars. We filling up all of the things. So make sure you know what's going on, because somebody gonna show up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Again.
No, it's all good. What was that, AP? What did you have to share?
Oh, the last thing on Netflix. A Man from Toronto with Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson. It was funny to me. I laughed. Like me and my wife, we laughed at that movie. So, A Man from Toronto is a good laugh if you want to watch that too.
Yeah, that was quite funny. Yeah. I enjoyed that one there myself. So for those of you who are tuning in, I want to take this opportunity to thank you again for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show live. You already know what it is. You see your girl Tilted Halo surrounded by her loving tribe mates, Natural D, Karen Sims, Audrey Hightower, and that boy AP. So we're going to transition the show into our next segment. I am looking forward to this power pairing of information sharing. So I'm going to go ahead and toss the mic to Natural D and that boy AP for DAP Sports.
What up? Can I start, D?
Listen, it's you, bro.
All right, y'all. What's up, y'all? It is time for DAP Sports, Donnell AP Sports. We have some great things happening in the world of sports. So we want to talk about them. Of course, we had the tragedy. It is a tragedy whenever somebody passes away. But we want to first and foremost pay homage to the amazing Bill Russell, who passed away a couple of days ago. I believe he was the age of 88. So lived a long life, but he was such a pioneer when it came to to the world of basketball. Just real quick, a couple of stats from Bill Russell, he was an 11-time NBA champion with the Boston Celtics, 5-time NBA Most Valuable Player, 12-time NBA All-Star, 3-time All-NBA First Team. I mean, I can go on and on and on. He is one of the greatest basketball players ever, and so we want to support him. We want to make sure we give him his flowers. I know he's gone, but we want to give him his flowers. We hope that everybody appreciates who he was, not only as a basketball player, but as a pioneer in civil rights and things like that. And so, yeah, D, what's your thoughts on Bill Russell?
Listen, you hit it all on the head. He's so legendary, and so legendary that, you know, one of the biggest comments I kept seeing was, man, I thought he was going to live forever, because you just didn't want him to leave, because you want that presence, that giant presence, not just his size, but just his heart. And you could even tell, like, even how he spoke on the news and everything. You can see how he interacted with even current stars. I mean, it's just a long lasting reach, and that's his level of legendary.
Yes. Ladies, anybody want to jump in about Bill Russell?
Well, as I shared with you all off air, there was a lot that I did not know about Mr. Russell until he actually passed. What I learned in the past couple of days is that he was an activist, as you said, AP, and he really did a lot to change the paradigm for African-American athletes, basketball players specifically, that would come behind him and basically dominate the game. I saw a news clip, one of my favorite morning news shows, where he was having an interview with the anchor, and he actually shared how he didn't necessarily care to play at the Boston Stadium because it brought him back to the challenges he himself faced when he first started playing. A lot of people weren't happy that he was the first African American to dominate in this sport, and it was to really hear his heart as he was making that statement, in learning that he was actually the first African American to create his heart. I did not know that. You know what I'm saying? But this is a great tie-in to a conversation we'll all get into later on in the show. Karen, Audrey, do you have anything to share?
Nothing from me.
Just echoing what you already said, a role model as well. And so when we think about the shoulders that we stand on, definitely his name comes right there at the foundation for so much that we get to celebrate now. And, just glad that we're seeing the celebration of his life and his contributions throughout the world, because he definitely deserves it. Shout out for prayers and condolences to his family. But hopefully there is more than a glimmer of light as folks really know what he is bringing, and just his memory for all of the things that he's done over the decades. And he outlasted a lot of the young ones too. So I got to shout out with Natural D and say, yeah, it was like, nah, he just going to be here. He going to be here. But we celebrate him and appreciate all that he's been.
And one of the amazing things about him, he is in every basketball Hall of Fame you could be in. He's in the NBA Basketball Hall of Fame as a player. He's in the NBA. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame as a coach. He's in the FIBA, which is the International Players Hall of Fame. He's in the College Basketball Hall of Fame, and he's also in the High School Hall of Fame. And so, job well done, Mr. Bill Russell. You lived a great life, and you were an ambassador and a pioneer. So salute to you. D, you want to take the next topic?
So I don't know if anyone else is a track and field fan as I am, but the World Athletic Championships was this week, and 10 days of just awesomeness and just so much that had occurred between world records, meet records, and the whole nine in Oregon, right at home, Hayward Field. And so I just want to give a couple special shout outs. 200-meter winner Noah Lyles, shout out to his auntie who lives in New Jersey, coming in with the third fastest time in the world, an American record at the moment at 0.31 seconds. Then Anderson Peters for the javelin. I mean, his second and third throws, he just took the field by storm, and that was a wrap after that. 100 meters, the men swept. Listen, with Fred Curley at the top, and he is the only man to have a gold in 100, the 200, and the 400. Just absolutely ridiculous. Redemption for Michael Norwood in the 400, Norman in the 400 meters. The 4x4 men's team took a meet record. 100 meters women, Jamaica sweep, just Shelly Ann just once again winning her 5th 100-meter gold world title. 200 meters with Sharika Jackson crushing the field. Coming for FloJo's record, slowly yet surely, but she is going to take it. I believe it. A thing moo. Shout out to Jersey for winning gold in 800 meters. And then and then last but not least, the women's 4x1 and the 4x4 team just hands down crushed the field and took it. And that's both are young teams. So I'm very excited to see where track is headed. USA is coming back, and with 33 titles, the most for a team, number of medals for a team in a meet. So we came with it on home court.
Yeah. Salute to all the track and field people.
Yes.
Because I ain't running nowhere. So, y'all do your thing.
Listen, you don't get your long jump on? You don't
Nah.
get your long jump? You don't get your shot put on? No.
I did shot put in high school. I was good at shot put, but that's all I'm doing. But so salute to everybody, man. We're so excited. I love the Olympics. When we have any type of international racing or sports, I'm Team USA all day. I just want us to win, and so you gotta represent your country, because I have a lot of people from different countries that are friends. I get to talk my junk, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
I don't know what curling is, but if we win in the curling, I'm talking my junk.
Oh, listen, hey, I love me some curling now. You sweeping the ice, listen.
Yeah. if we win it, I get to, I talk my junk. So but shout out to everybody with the track and field. Ladies, you have anything to add to that before we go to the next topic?
Just celebrating.
No, I'm sorry. I was just laughing because we crazy. But I will share that I ran the 440 relay track and field back in the day. Before Thickums really set in. I used to run.
Lordy.
Listen, if you need a trainer, I got brothers.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, before we move on to you all's last topic of conversation, listen, talk to us about the great work your brother is doing, Natural D, in training some of the current greats as well as the future greats.
Absolutely. So my brother, Christian Lockhart, he has a training camp that he does in the area in the Lehigh Valley. He also does it with my brother, Justin, who helps with speed training along the way. But Christian, he focuses on basketball, number one. But he can, listen, my brother knows every sport, and he can teach and direct and guide a student in any sport. So don't let that deter you. And he has connections to help with football too, which my other brother, Justin, can also help with as well. So they're up in training, kids in the area. If you follow him or if you follow me on social media, then you'll know what's going on in the Valley. He on vacation right now, so we off this week. But he's got kids that gone on to making college teams and come back in the summertime ready to put in that work. So the latest is shout out to Jaleesa Lanier. She's one of his proteges, and she at Lincoln, and the team made it to the NCAA tournament for Division II. So listen, get into it. If you need it, have a kid that wants to put in that work, holla at me.
I'm gonna holler at you. My son's getting ready for his upcoming football season, and he's been doing phenomenal with that. And so I'll holler at you. We're going to New York Giants training camp tomorrow, so we're gonna go see the Giants training tomorrow. But so we have one more topic before we get off of DAP Sports. Of course, for the last, I think it's a couple of months now. And shout out to Michael, man. I'm really loving this show, so I appreciate it. That's awesome, man. Thanks for hanging in with us. We are dealing with the last 2 or 3 months. Brittany Griner has been locked up. All right, can we block Michael now? He said Boo Giants.
That's our boy from Georgia.
Wait,
We gotta let
but who you repping, Michael? But who you repping?
You gotta say who
let
you
him
repping first.
live.
If he say Cowboys, he really
Let
getting
them
booted.
live.
Oh, I mean, he get booted if he say Cowboys now.
Yeah. If he say Cowboys or Eagles, he going on timeout. All right. Anyway, Brittany Griner has been in prison for what about 3 or 4 months now. I can't remember the timeline. But,
Too long at this point and past the time frame. They said they were going to release her.
Like they were going to keep her. So now we're at the point to where Carolina. I'll pray for you, Carolina.
Listen, but it's a beautiful stadium.
Yeah, North Carolina's nice. The football team is horrid. But so you got me off track, man.
Brittany.
Sorry. All right. Brittany Griner has been in jail for the last couple of months. And so right now the offer that's on the table is that the U.S. is trying, Biden has stepped in and he's trying to now make a trade with Russia to free Brittany Griner and I believe another gentleman as well who has been locked up longer than she has been. And so they're also like I said, they're trading her for a notorious drug lord. He's a weapons dealer, everything. So it's a lot going on. And so I just want to get your guys' thoughts. You haven't been together for a while since we haven't really talked about the Brittany Griner incident. I would love to hear what you guys think. And do you really think that we should be swapping a petty drug offense for a weapons and arms dealer? What is you guys' thoughts? And if you're in the comments, write your comments as well in the comments. But who's up first?
I'll jump in. This has been heartbreaking to watch. As a Black woman, as a woman who just loves sports, loves to see our folks win. Yes, a mistake was made, but this right here, they are literally treating her like a hard criminal. And I literally agree, Michael. She is a political prisoner of war, and they're making her that by doing this trade-off when there's nothing for us to gain with this except for she is just in the wrong place right now. She should be with her family. She should be able to go ahead and continue to make her coins doing the work that she loves. And, the trauma that this is creating, this girl may never play again from all that's going on, and the world loses a bright star, a talent, because of just some shady dealings. Now, I'm all for, anybody who wants to support, let the punishment fit the crime. I get all of that. But let the girl pay a fine. Somebody just needs to come to her rescue. And there's so many layers to this that I have a problem with when I put on my DEI hat. How Black women are not protected in America at all. Like, it's not even a priority, and that girl been over there for so long. We keep getting updates on updates on updates, and I hear everybody saying free Brittany, but it literally is an issue that shouldn't be this at all. Somebody need to step up. I don't know where Reverend Jackson and Sharpton and them are, but somebody need to do some international. Back in the day, Jesse used to go get them peoples from other countries. Somebody better send a diplomat into that country and figure out what we could do to literally save this girl's life and snatch her out of this ridiculousness.
Oh my God.
Is that the trade? That might be a trade.
They might send him back. But
I'm like, Jesse Jackson's pull-up game was type strong, but when you said that, all I'm sitting here thinking is, they ain't pulling up to come to the rescue of the African American women who are suffering injustices abroad because they're too busy trying to get those for fame cases here stateside. But let me jump off of that because that's a nice soapbox. It's pretty sturdy, and I have no problem standing on it. From everything that I've observed, leading to some political involvement in freeing Brittany, it seems to me that it is the voice of many other strong women in this country who stood up and said and actually challenged the system in saying, if this was a male basketball superstar, you all would not have let him sit over there for this long. And that in itself can spark an entirely different conversation. Because we remember NBA multi-billion-dollar sports, WNBA multi-million. And we've talked about this before. So now to see her unfortunately detained for, as you said, Karen, a mistake. As you said, AP, a petty drug crime. Y'all gonna flip her out for a notorious drug lord, assassin, murderer? It just don't fit. It don't add up to me. And what more will it take for women to be represented as fairly as their male counterparts worldwide? That's all I got to say about
it. For those that don't know, the reason why she was over there was to play basketball. And the reason why she has to go over there is because of WNBA. She can't make the living that she needs in the WNBA versus what the NBA is. Which again is a whole other conversation about wages between NBA and WNBA and what's needed, what should be deserved. But the reason she's over in Russia, and I believe she's played in Russia for like the last 5 or 6 years.
For a while,
so after WNBA season's over, she's in Russia. So that's for those that are wondering why she's even over there. Audrey, I saw you getting ready to answer.
You kind of took the words right out of my mouth, AP, because that's what I was going to say. Like, we talk about equality and we talk about the negotiations and would the negotiations have happened sooner if she were a LeBron? I believe most definitely. But if we just go back to the beginning of it, like, why is she there to begin with, right? Like, how much was she earning? $200,000 a year, as making money here. So she went there to earn money. So how about leveling that playing field here in the States, right? As far as pay for the female athletes, and then there would be no need for any of our athletes. She's not the only one, right? To have to do that. It's crazy.
And that's what they had to do even before the WNBA was even established. So it's just a continuation. So the fact that the WNBA got established and then they're still going overseas to make that money, that says a lot. But Michael is saying some things in this chat between the fact that we've legalized marijuana over here and she's about to spend 10 years potentially for a used vapes. And then he also said, well, how long would LeBron, how long would Larry Bird actually have been over there? And you're hitting some hit things on the head. And I'm glad that you're saying it, because unfortunately I have seen some men take the stance of, well, it's international law. It's international law. It doesn't matter who it is. It's international law. Well, it is international law. However, the circumstances, they're not adding up. The math is not mathing.
Right.
So,
and it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, we talk about how if it were Larry Bird, right, as Michael's seen in the chat, or if it were LeBron, that it would be different. But what about, same thing. This is Brittany, and she is an athletic star here in the States, but there are other Americans that are over there as well. And their families are like, well, wait a minute, my loved one is over there. What about them? Right? Been over there before Brittany was arrested. And what about them? So it does matter.
Yeah. And I appreciate that that's also her stance is once she's realized I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
She's realizing that, like, no, you letting us all go, or at least something, because this isn't fair for them as well. And it took for her to get arrested for us to even know who was over there.
Right. And so, it's an ongoing situation. We're all praying for her safety to get back, but also, this is something that, it does. It's so much going on with the disparity, with WNBA and NBA lives. It's so different. Like, I think during the lockout, I think it was during COVID, Kyrie Irving paid the salary of a bunch of WNBA players. So one NBA player was able to pay like a team salary, and so that's a bigger conversation for another day. But Mike, that's true. What will life be like when she comes home? It's rough. So we're praying for her, hope for her safe return. But listen, y'all, that is DAP Sports. Thank y'all so much for listening. We got a lot more coming up next time. But I'm going to kick it back over to our host, Miss Tilted Halo.
One thing.
Thank you all for such a wonderful segment. I see. Look, Natural D got the church
We
finger
got the
up.
church finger.
No, I was just gonna say, if you have
He
any
had
topics
two of
you want us to discuss, drop it down in the comment section.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, because we always watching, and y'all know that Natural D is the welcome committee in the Unhinged Radio Show live group. I want to thank you for handling that for your girl, because you know I'll be everywhere trying to build this here empire. Yeah, again, I have another wonderful announcement coming up soon. But you again know that I do not like to make announcements before I have something concrete in my hand. But trust and believe, y'all gonna want to hear what I have coming up next. With me sharing that, I want to go ahead and acknowledge the United Christian Fellowships and Elder Malachi Jones. Those of you who have been hanging out in the group, you all know that I was recently selected as vice president of the women's half of that global ministry organization. And I promise you, I'm absolutely humbled by how this opportunity presented itself, and what led me to say yes to this global assignment. I'm telling you, this ain't just somebody I knew and said, oh, we're going to do a company and we just going to give you a title. No, your girl had to be vetted. And I had to go through quite a few interviews before the selection was made. So I am excited to be connected to so many people of color who are business owners and entrepreneurs and people of faith from all over the world at this point. The headquarters is here in New Jersey, and I'm excited about the work the team from the fellowship and I will be able to do. And I'm excited again for how God will allow this opportunity to, have some of these visions that I be having to manifest. Because y'all know, as one of my favorite gospel groups sang it oh so well. Shout out to Nikeo Music Group. I want to leave empty. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and warm y'all up. Y'all warming it up. Get Mr. Miyagi style like y'all about to get a heat treatment. Because guess what? We are about to hear from our in-house self-care strategist. Y'all know they gifted. So not to delay the hour, I want to go ahead and toss the mic to our sister, Audrey Dindy Hightower, self-care strategist. Take it away, Audrey.
Hey, thank you so much, Nikita and the Tilted Hello Tribe. I want to start out by just saying this quote to you, which I heard this not that long ago, and it just resonated with me. So the quote is, light yourself on fire with passion, and people will come from miles to watch you burn. And that quote is from John Wesley. And when I heard that, I thought about my passion, right? Because a lot of times we hear these quotes and you're trying to figure out, how does that apply to me? And so I was thinking about what my passion is, and if I'm lighting myself on fire with my passion, if people are going to come from miles away to see me burn. And the answer is yes, of course. So one of my passions is self-care. It has always been my passion. I've always been a product junkie. I've been the one who has 5 different types of shampoos and facial creams, and always got the manicures and the pedicures, and always looked, good on the outside. But there was a period in my life where I looked good on the outside, but I was jacked up on the inside. And I felt like, my finances were jacked up, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be homeless, but I'll be the best looking homeless person sleeping on a park bench.
My afro will be picked on that bench. That's right.
It was just terrible. I was really jacked up. So self-care, when you hear the word self-care, such a buzzword now, self-care, soul-care, whatever it is, it's really about putting yourself first. And for my clients, I actually take my clients through a program of self-care that involves different pillars and different areas. And for today, I want to talk about asking for help. And one of the things, the reason why I want to talk about asking for help is because it's so pertinent now in so many different areas of our lives. And asking for help is something that benefits both men and women. And we don't think of it as a component of self care, but it really is. So, one of the things I want to talk about is how asking for help is a process. And it's an organic process that we do automatically in our head, right? So you think, oh, well, I'm going to ask for help. First of all, we may have the stigma, these negative stigmas that it means that you're weak or you don't know what you're doing or you can't handle whatever has put before your plate, but that's not what it means at all. It's actually a sign of strength, right? It's actually lets you know that you know where your limitations are. You know where your lane is, where you get on, where someone else can get off. And two, it allows other people to help you, the people who are around you to help you. And so when you don't ask for help, you just don't allow people to sow into your life. So the process for asking for help is one, recognizing that you need help, right? That's the first thing. And that's huge because that's where the first blocker is. We think, oh, well, we're like Shaka Khan. I'm every woman. I can make the bacon and cook the bacon. You could do everything, but we're not, right? We just can't do everything. We're not amoebas. We're not single cell organisms that we just self-contained. We're just that's not who we are. We are built for people. We are built to connect. And the verse in the Bible that I loved when it comes down to asking for help is that some people plant the seed, some people water, but only God gives the increase. And whether whoever's listening, whether you're a person of faith or not, what that means is that we need help. And there are people that are going to help us along our journey. We don't know if they're going to be the ones planting the seed. We don't know if they're going to be watering. It doesn't matter. We need to ask people for help. And the first step is to recognize, how do you need help? What area do you need help? The second part of asking for help is knowing who you're going to ask for help. Who is in your circle? Are these the right people you should be asking for help? These are the people that you trust, right? The people that you can be vulnerable with, recognizing who they are. And if you do not have a circle of people, find one. Find people that can support you in various areas. And when you're doing that, make sure that there are people at different levels. Like we talk about diversity and equity and inclusion. So that's not just, we're not just talking about male and female, or we're talking about black or white or racial. It's also generations, right? So find someone who's more senior than you, right? Who can share pearls of wisdoms and then appear. And it's so important to find someone who's in a different generation, younger than you, because they're all giving you a different perspective that can keep you relevant. So the first part is figuring out the area that you need help, figuring out who it is that you're going to ask for help, because that's key. And the third part is determining how that person should help you. Now we don't think about that part, but otherwise we're going to be like little kids. You know how when you have these toddlers, and for those parents, right, where you have or nieces, aunties, and you have little kids, and they're like, "Mom, mom, mom, mom," and then when you show up, you're like, "What?" And they just kind of look at you. So it's like when the help shows up, are you prepared for when the help shows up? Do you know how to tell people how they can help you? And that could mean doing something for you. Helping you could be doing nothing, right? Sometimes it could just be holding space for someone. They just may need your ear at that moment, right? So these are important areas when it comes down to asking for help. And it's not always asking them for help for a task because you have something that's before you that you need to get across the line, right? We know I've done it. I've spun myself into a nice little weave trying to impress people with skills that I don't have, right? Trying to do things in a way that I think is more efficient because I don't want to ask for help because I'm supposed to have all the answers. Who said? That is so not true. That's just like a myth, right? But asking for help could also mean just asking for help with your own mental wellness and your own mental health. It could be, I gotta call Karen because right now I'm not feeling well. I'm feeling overwhelmed right now in my life. I need to talk to somebody about it, right? Because we're not single cell organisms, so we can't figure it all out on our own. And you don't know that until you do it, right? And I've done it myself. I've been the one who I nearly had a nervous breakdown thinking that I had to do everything on my own, and then trying to do everything on my own. And it just didn't work for me. Now I'm a different person today. Totally, totally different. If I need help with anything, before I try to do it on my own, I'm thinking about the people that are in my circle. I'm thinking about the people who have the resources, who have the skills, who have the knowledge, who have the degrees, who have the expertise. They're the experts. I'm not. And those are the people I'm going to call on. It'll save me tons and tons of time, right? I won't have to, spin my wheels, right? I'll get the answer a lot more quicker. And then the person who has the expertise is willing to help, right? So I know if each of you think about the area that you are proficient in, right? The area of your expertise, whether this is your day job or it's not, the thing that you love to do. Isn't it amazing when someone would call you and ask you a question about that one area? You love to talk to them, right? You just want to share
It
with them.
happens. It happens a whole lot, and you've shared a lot of great information. I'm really enjoying what's been happening in the comments, and not only am I enjoying the engagement there, I'm just getting ready to tell you, you ain't have to tell me how to get my entire life in front of the whole world, Miss Audrey.
This message was to the Virgos.
Right? It's a Virgo thing. We be trying to ask for help, and y'all already know that's why I'm surrounded by each one of you, because you add to me and you make me better. And I promise you, I'm a much better person, as you shared in your information that you shared, Audrey. I'm a much better person because of every last one of you. In the last few months, I done talked to every last one of you all on an individual basis about something concerning going on in my personal world as well as my professional world. And I'm grateful. As Michael posted, I'm grateful for the opportunity to utilize my circle to my advantage, because, we ain't nothing again but a whole bunch of church kids, pew babies grown up. We know what it is to have someone hold our arms up, and what that really means. When you don't have strength, be grateful and make sure you got the right folks in your tribe that are going to help you to stand. And encourage you to be the best version of yourself as you head out the door every single day, to just be great. Y'all already know what it is. So for those of you who've tuned in and are hanging on in here with us, I want to take the opportunity to say thank you again for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show Live. You already know what it is. It's a full-on feature conversation with the Tilted Halo Tribe. I gotta move the train right along. Chugga, 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 chugga. Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo, choo.
Uh-oh.
That was a little whack. That was a little weak. I need some water. But I was trying to stay off the petty pew. I need to turn this envelope into a church fan. Praise God. But it is time for that conversation. We just gonna have a little round table discussion. Y'all got y'all envelope church fans? There we go.
We're gonna do something.
You have your notebook. My fan is in my purse.
My envelope is open. Anyway, listen. Can we talk about Bishop Robbie Rob Bass?
I got got the offering envelope as my
You
fan.
got the offering inbox us for our individual.
You might be looking for that one.
We
Hey,
taking cash.
the Bandit Bishop. I like that. The Bandit Bishop.
The bandit bishop. Yeah, the bandit bishop. Well, you know, I really don't want to give Brother Man too much more air. Leave that right there on the screen. You said it right, Michael. The bandit bishop.
Oh my
That
God.
got the world in an uproar over the course of the last 2 weeks. Karen and I talked about this where we last week and shared some initial insight on the goings on with, again, the bandit bishop. Pastor Dunn got robbed. What's his name? Bishop Whitehead. I didn't even know who he was until he jumped up on. I did not know who he was until he jumped on Larry's live and just proceeded to cuss Larry out and the young woman that was on the panel. And then he proceeded to disrespect her in a way that did not please the heart of God. So Karen and I got a chance to, lend our perspective. So much more has come out since then. But what I want to go ahead and do is toss the mic to my girl, Natural D. Let's get it started. I got my church fan. Talk about it, D.
Michael is killing us. He's killing me.
Well, now that it's also been put out there that the bishop has also stolen money, his house looked better than the church. It's giving Pharisee. Like sir, what? And then got the nerve to be mad when he says, "Well, I'm just human." Y'all always get mad at a bishop or whatever for falling short. My man, what part of the word did you not understand that when you answered that call of that position, you are held to a higher standard? That's in the good book. I don't know. It's in my book. I'm pretty sure it's in his too. And that's in every translation. And I don't understand, sir. Like, I don't. Exactly. He got all these cars that probably could have paid off all the mortgages of all his people, the whole 5 people that was at that church when they got robbed. I don't understand. I don't understand. And the fact that they just went straight to him and his wife just boggles my mind. And, I've said this before. He out here hollering at everybody else. And I'm like, sir, you have a whole child at home who had a gun pointed to their head. Where are your priorities?
Son.
Man of God. Where are your priorities? Leader of the house. Prophet, priest, king of the house. What? This is how you leading? Bruh. And submit is the curse word in the church these days. I don't know how anybody's submitting to that. So that's all I got to say.
Where
is the Michael? But here's the thing though. But he said that's a transitional church because the real church is being worked on. So that's why they at that church that they at with the thumbtack holding up the step and repeat.
The man has not learned his lesson. He just got robbed. Today he's on. I think it was today he's on Instagram Live showing his prayer closet that happens to have thousands of dollars. He showed $1 million worth of jewelry in his prayer closet.
I know you lying.
Something ain't
right.
No,
he's not.
Something not right.
We gotta pray. We gotta pray because this is literally a death wish at this point. Because the people
do we need to pray or do we need to act?
Well, now.
I
just want to shout out Michael so that he knows that we have seen. He not letting this go. Where is the building fund?
Where is the building fund?
Like I said, turn to your neighbor. Turn to your neighbor and say, "Where's the building?" He not letting that go. Where's the building fund?
Oh, neighbor.
He preaching tonight.
Where?
He said, "Y'all don't hear me tonight."
Right. Now we got to turn to our other neighbor. Listen, super fan shout out to Michael because he turn to both your neighbors and say, "Where? Where?
Turn to the
where is the building fund?" Lord.
Oh man.
I don't. I think the whole thing was staged. I do not believe any of it. As I watched the video, first of all, let's just say
Man's in the
this. I
corner.
mean, AP, you recording a robbery. Are you still gonna be recording? Like, you still recording the guy? There's somebody behind the camera, right? So, well, yeah. So that's happened in one. Two, the guy after he took the money, he walked away so slowly. I think I run to the bathroom faster holding a church finger, right? The way he walked away, supposedly with all this money. I do not believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
The fact that he knew to look under his collar
I don't believe it.
for additional for the real stuff.
It's
That's
so
what got me.
staged. It's so
Yeah,
staged.
my only thing is he playing with fire at this point
Yeah.
because it started out as something different, and I'm down with all of y'all. But for as many home invasion, listen, this is not the TV. The revolution is being televised,
Yep.
and he posting it up
Exactly.
on Instagram. We got to stop it because the people who were not paying attention, I mean, the real thugs who gonna knock him upside the head and shoot
Yeah.
him
Right.
for real. Now he is in their view, and his entire family, although it might have started out as a we want something, whatever his reason for thinking that this was a bad idea. Now you are literally in harm's way, sir, ma'am, and child. So you listen, you can't play when
Just
it
stop
comes
it.
to
They-
these social
they
medias
not-
out here because
not
you don't know who you reach. And now it's shameful because we will not be surprised. We will not. Michael, we putting you in timeout in 5 seconds.
Right, nobody.
Hey,
Michael,
Yeah,
put
we
you
my
in
comment.
timeout.
He took my comment. That was my comment. The armor
Yep.
bearer was chilling the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. The armor bearer, the cameraman, the
Either
security,
Fire everybody.
all the the five
Not 1
persons
ounce of
that were in
fear.
the-
Not 1 ounce of fear
No.
on their face.
Either the armor bearer was in on it, or he
Everybody
or he
in
was
on
just too calm. But the other thing is too, like Karen said, you better stop playing with in these social media streets. Just last week, a rapper said, I'm not scared of none of my opposition. Put his address on there. I'll be home at whatever time. He got
5
killed.
minutes later.
5
5
minutes
minutes
later.
later.
So people are watching. And so
It's
even
not the
if
best
this
way.
is for real or not for real, you're playing with fire because now you're showing your house with your $1 million this and that. You holding crazy press conferences. You're doing a whole. It's just
Too much.
it's screaming. Look at me and here's my 5 minutes of fame. And so it ain't got nothing about to do with the gospel. It's all about self gratification right now with this man. And so I'm gonna pray for him because he's not even looking out for his family at this point because now you about to make everybody a target. And if I was a member of that church, you won't see me on Sunday because
Right.
you're doing too much. You're doing too much. I watch it online and watch it get robbed again.
Because it's gonna happen. It is going.
It is. I believe it is definitely on the way. And y'all already know I've never been a fan of all that opulence in the pulpit anyway. Especially again in this particular situation, like so many other, there are so many different churches, storefront operations in the urban and African American communities. And it always has the same storyline, it seems, that the bishop is getting better. He out here balling. He's sitting on dubs. Meanwhile, his congregants can barely afford to pay their own bills. It's come out even in the aftermath, as this bishop is extending his 5 minutes of fame to 15. That he got some blood on his hand that he's going to have to account for. And as we need to pray that God continues to extend mercy in this situation. Yeah, I'm saying mercy because when you have these titles, when you stand in these places, you are definitely and absolutely held accountable for what you know. And woe unto the man who wants to play a pimp in the pulpit. That's right, I said it. He giving pimp in the pulpit vibes to me.
Yep.
You out here fast talking. Some of us wasn't always saved. We have lives BC before Christ. We know how the streets move. We know how the streets be talking, and we know how the streets get out. And we've encountered at least one or two hustling pastors in our lifetimes. We see you, sir. And all I can say is, again, I'm praying that God continues to extend his hand of mercy towards you. Because as it was said earlier in this conversation, I would not have ever jumped on Facebook Live immediately after being jacked in front of my congregation.
Because he wasn't jacked in front of his congregation. It was
Audrey is on the case. Audrey is on the case, and Michael is not sleeping tonight until you turn to your neighbor and ask them where is the building
fund. But you know, I mean, I think the sad commentary in all of this, besides what he's done, right, it's that he does not represent most churches. He does not represent most pastors, right? There is already this sentiment in the church that the pastor's driving, a Rolls Royce and the congregants are driving something else. But
they on the city bus.
Right. So we feel this anywhere. There's already this sentiment across the church. And so now when something like this happens, it puts us on our toes, right? And on guard, because now we're going to have to defend this. Some way, somehow, we're going to have this conversation because we're Christians, right? And defend his behavior.
And it's not just that. It's, allegedly all the other things that have fallen out. I think he thought this was going to be his moment of fame. And now it's like, what about these notices that are on your door, sir, of all these tenants that you have, and you are behind on the mortgage? Where all these people are potentially going to be displaced, allegedly. Like, there's just too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
None of this says you are a child of the Most High King. Like,
not at all.
None of this screams grace. None of this screams love. Like,
even when he was on the live with Larry Reed, right? Like, okay, fine. What were you expecting? Like, this is the era of social media. This was live. What were you expecting?
He was there to listen, to respond, and not listen to hear. Because even in his response, he was responding in a way that was not even what they said. Like, and I'm like, and they even acknowledged that they were like, I know this is janky, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Like,
but we can laugh. Yeah, that's right.
Where's the building from? That's what they said.
That's the question of the hour. And
I got you, Michael.
Keep an eye on this case. We expect to hear from you. We need an update as soon as possible. If you find out what happened to the building fund with the bandit bishop, okay? Thank you again, Michael, for all of the engagement you got going on in the chat. It is absolutely refreshing. You stick on around here. I added you to the tribe for a reason. So yeah, we're gonna keep the train moving forward. Y'all ready? We're gonna move again. Chugga, 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 chugga.
Ooh.
Yo, Carrie, Donnell, AP, what time is it?
It's offering time.
I was like, hold on, let me get my
We don't know what happened to the building fund. We're not trying to get caught up in them shenanigans. We're trying to move the train along. Let me start again. Sugar,
does it begin with a W?
That part. Yes.
Huh?
I said, does it begin with a W?
On? What's really going on?
Thank you, Karen. What's really going on?
Come on, 10 AP.
I didn't hear my notes. I gotta.
This ain't nothing but a whole praise team on the panel. So yeah, I got some conversation to bring to y'all tonight because I stay bugging on world events every single day of my life, and this legit came through my cell phone information system this afternoon that embryos can now be listed as dependents on tax return. Now, this is in the state of Georgia. Yes, Karen, it gets better. Georgia taxpayers can now list embryos as dependents on their tax returns. In a news release on Monday, Georgia's Department of Revenue said it would begin to recognize any unborn child with a detectable human heartbeat as eligible for individual income tax dependent exemption. The announcement follows the Supreme Court's ruling on June 24 that overturned the landmark Roe versus Wade ruling that established the nationwide right to an abortion nearly 50 years earlier. A lower federal appellate court had also decided on July 20th to let the Georgia law banning most abortions in state take effect. Now, officials added that taxpayers filing returns from July 20th onward can claim a deduction of up to $3,000 for any fetus whose heartbeat could be detected. That may occur as early as 6 weeks gestation before most women even know they are pregnant, the statement said. Now, taxpayers must be ready to provide relevant medical records or other supporting documentation if requested by the Revenue Department. Now, legal analysts and advocates for abortion rights greeted the announcement with dismay and skepticism. Anthony Michael Price, a Georgia State University law professor and political scientist, tweeted that some pregnancies detected within 6 weeks of gestation result in natural miscarriages, which could leave the Georgia's treasuries handing out a lot of cash for pregnancies that would have never come to term. And I just read a portion of an article published on the Guardian's news website. Well, you got your church fan out, Karen. You all right?
We need a fan for this one because we got questions. Okay, we got questions.
There's a whole lot to unpack in this conversation, right, champ? Okay. Again, Karen and I had the opportunity to touch on this topic a little bit earlier, and I believe, Karen, if memory serves correct, these are some of the questions that we had at that time.
Yep.
Potential situation that could present themselves, as a result of them overturning Roe versus Wade. So, of course, y'all know I got to get everybody's individual opinion on this conversation. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start with you, King AP, because you have daughters and a beautiful wife and some other wonderful women, sisters, aunties, cousins, all that in your life. Talk to us, AP.
I'm actually going to pass this right now. I'm still formulating my ideas on this thing, y'all. So let me continue to gather my thoughts, and I'm going to pass to Audrey. I see you shaking your head, so I'm going to be passing the potato. So I'm going to pass to Audrey. I'm still getting my
got all this shade in her face. What you got to say, Audrey?
So, while you were talking, it reminded me, and we touched upon this before, of this new bill that's being introduced in the Senate and the House. So that it's called the Unborn Child Support Act. And it would amend the Social Security Act to give mothers the ability to receive child support payments while they are still pregnant. So there's so much going on with the Roe v. Wade. There's so much backlash that we are experiencing now, and we're not done yet, right? We're not done. I can see Donnell, who put in life insurance, right? Mm-hmm. Life insurance. I had a conversation over the weekend about, when there's a change of, what is it called? Is it when you have a baby, you can go to work and now say that you want to claim your child, right, on your insurance, but it's a change of life situation. It has to be a change, like if you get married, if you have a baby, right? Right. So when you get pregnant, when you conceive, does that happen then too? Are they going to change that, or is it only after you have the baby, which like it is now? Right? There's so much here, right? There's so much to process, and I just don't know. I just don't know. It all feels like an attack on women. Period. Full stop. Right? Yeah. In my opinion, that's what it all kind of feels like.
One of the challenges, I'll jump in, and it's so many different layers, because as we talk
Mm-hmm.
about family and work benefits, all of those benefits, like if you have to actually have a birth for your benefits to kick in right now. And so now you will have a difference and a disparity in company to company, what their policy is. The states are going to help kind of figure out what that is. So all eyes are going to be on Georgia for a lot of reasons, but people will they'll set the precedence for what do we do. What I asked a question about earned income credit. So now,
Mm-hmm.
playing the kids earlier, do you have to pay it back if a kid don't actually come here? Who's coming all over there to check to see that the kid actually is here? Do you have to provide birth certificates for these things? We got life insurance. Child support before the baby get here. Lord have mercy. I'm praying for the men and some of the women too, because women pay child support as well. The thickness of this is, I think, beyond the thoughts that originally came about. And they're rightful conversations. Like all of this stuff we should be discussing, because it's a part of that original decision. And so
Mm-hmm.
whether we are in agreement with the decision or not, these trickle down effects are going to blow our minds for years to come, because we already have disparity when it comes to parental leave right now. Do you get 6 weeks? Do you get
Right.
12 weeks? Some places get 16. Is it paid? Is it time out? You got to get disability. There's so many things that I believe, a lot of times when we get so very focused on one thing, we miss all of the outlying things. And these are all things that they are going to create a tumbleweed effect. That's what I'm calling it, the tumbleweed effect, because they're going to gather up more questions, more things. And I really don't have a problem with, since we did this is the next thing. But we got to have these things in place, or you will create disparity that will not have an end.
That's the thing. There's no plan, right? Like you make a
Yeah,
decision and then there's no plan. So you're making a decision to say pro-life, but life doesn't only end when you have a baby, right? It's
right.
throughout the entire life of a person, right? Where's all the support? Now you have all these babies. Where these babies going to live, right? Are they going to extend, I don't know, public assistance? Are they going to change that now, right? I don't know. It's a lot.
And right now it's more questions than
Yeah.
resolutions. But this is literally, we talk about it's going to take a village. It's going to take several villages for where we at. A couple of months ago we were talking about what is to come. We're in it now. So this means that we got to be speaking wisdom. We got to talk about, what we're looking for in our jobs, and what are the topics at the top of the list. I mean, a lot of the studies that I do on a DEI focuses on the disparities that women across the board have when it comes to keeping jobs. Discrimination against motherhood. They all right, but as soon as you say you pregnant or drop a baby, people think now you stupid and you can't perform at the same way. Now, work life harmony and creating balance in your life when you are a parent is really a good thing. But it's so many layers to this. And when we even think, like, a lot of the discrimination that comes on the side of motherhood, fathers see it some, but they don't see it in the same reference point as women do. So it's like, okay, I gotta go take my kid to this thing. All right, have a good time. Women, it's like, well, where's your priority? Like those type of questions you get. We're going to see more of it. And so, as always, we try to make sure that our Tilted Tribe is ready for whatever's coming up next. So brace yourselves.
No,
Yeah,
it's true.
because the
You know,
conversation is going to happen over here on these
yeah,
unhinged radio live streets.
yeah.
Dee, do you have anything to add to the conversation?
There's just so much to say. And this is coming from someone who has never had a child and who has never been married and does not see any type of tax benefits from all of the above. So while part of me is like side-eyeing all these benefits, The other part of me says, well, if this is, like Karen said, if you're going to overturn Roe v. Wade, then you need to look at the totality of it. But I think that's something that should have been done before it even got overturned in the first place, because we were already behind the 8 ball as it is. And so now you overturn because you're 70 million based off of your ideals and your belief system. So now these 70 million babies or whatever, now you're going to introduce them, introduce more children into a system that's already broken and can't even handle those who are actually living and breathing and walking this earth. So there's just a lot more to it. So shout out to Georgia for at least saying that. But what I want to know is, are we automatically going to take maternity tests and put these people on the birth certificate in order to handle everything else that's automatically going to trigger child support for those who are not married? Because this is what I'm trying to understand. Cut the loopholes. If we're going to go there, then you need to go there. And that's it. Everybody needs to be responsible. If you're responsible enough to do what you got to do for this baby to get created, then you need to be responsible there henceforth and after.
Yeah. Well, you know what you're talking about for the baby to be created, and there's another statistic that I read a couple of weeks ago about how vasectomies are up.
Yep.
Men are running to get
like, y'all ain't gonna catch me out there.
So while you are on one end squeezing and telling this woman that she has to have this baby, the men are on the other end saying, well, I'm not gonna create them. We're not amoebas, people. Right? We're not single cell organisms. So
not for nothing. There's been some new developments in the new forms of medical plagues that are surfacing. I'm sorry to cut you off. No, we are not amoebas. However, I think we might actually be sitting at the forefront of watching our society morph and change into something that could eventually, if science has its way, reproduce without natural human relations, if that makes any sense. And I brought that to the conversation because, of course, y'all know I'm out here with these monkeys and these monkey pops. And hey, y'all already know these monkeys and this monkey pox. And I questioned, was it new name for the chicken pox? No one has answered me yet. But I see the numbers rising even on yet another plague that seems to be introducing itself to this earthly atmosphere. And the monkeypox got people. What I hear Larry say? They got polka dots. They're getting the polka dots. And it's becoming something that's, people are paying attention to. I had a coworker come into the office today sharing that she had a nightmare that she had the monkeypox. So when you say that we're not amoebas, they got things in Wuhan is shut down again. All right. I don't know if y'all know that. The epicenter of the original COVID, shout out to COVID-19, the OG COVID.
The original.
Huh?
He said the original.
The original.
The OG COVID. Shout out to vid-19. Wuhan is over there shut down, and they say that vid came up out of there. Now they shut it down, and they're saying it's because of 4 confirmed cases of COVID. Now, with the way of the world and the way things are shaping up, I don't necessarily believe it's because of 4 cases of COVID being confirmed in that region again. I really believe that some type of science has escaped itself yet again. We just, gonna be the last to get the information as usual. But yeah, allow me to digress. This has been an awesome conversation. Great show tonight. Thank you to my wonderful tribe. I don't want to close out this show before y'all get to hear from our resident in-house master life coach, Queen Karen Sims of Twisted Threads, with yet another reflection of purpose to help you get your life right. I know she helps me daily. So Karen, go ahead and take it away, sis.
Listen, we're going to be real quick. For those of you who know now, you're going to know in a minute. If you don't know, we always come with the title. Tonight's title is just Get It In. Get it in. We really have to take opportunity when we see so many different things going on. A lot of times, as our in-house self-care strategist reminded us, we've got to take the time to think about how will we lighten up the world and who all is following us. Listen, a lot of us need help, but we will sit back and not take the opportunity. So step one, we got to make the list and check it twice. Yes, July is over. It's not Christmas yet. We don't want any snow, but we got to take that inventory for where we are. Why? Because we got work to do. And when we see so many stories of disparity, that should ignite the passions within us to love one another, to figure out how we can show up in the world in an amazing way, to be a solution and resolution and not the problem. See, that was step 2, 3, 4, and 5. Be the solution and resolution and not the problem. Get it in where you fit it in. We would say that all the time back in the day, and it meant something else back then. But now we actually have no choice, because if we stand on the sidelines, there are lives that are at stake, and we will not be able to recover from what it is. I love when we talk about OG COVID-19, back when, they had their 2-year presidential term. They just ran on through from 2020 all the way till now. Now we are seeing new threats. That means you got to get it in, because your days are numbered. We don't know the day and the time, but we want to be able to leave a mark as we celebrate all of the lives and lives that have been lost, and we get to celebrate what it is they brought into the earth. You have something that is magnificent to share with the earth. So listen, tonight, before you go to bed, your homework, look in that mirror and say, I am magnificent and powerful, and I belong with purpose in this earth. Tomorrow morning, when you do the same thing, I am magnificent and power, and I belong with purpose in this earth. You know what happens when you say those? Get that mirror out. I need you to know. You know what happens when you say those words to yourself? You create a mental tsunami for you that then will ignite things around you that you never even imagined you could do. You gotta believe in yourself first. I'm gonna take it from the Wiz, Lena Horne, that was my girl, and she said it was more than click your heels 3 times. But if you just believe, I wanted to be one of them black babies that was flying from the ceiling as a little star. We're gonna keep it on point though. Get it in, because there's no time to waste. We're here on these weekly shows, doing this Unhinged radio show live. So you get to see in real time, not just what's going on in the world, but what all you can be a part of by just getting it in where you fit in. So remember, get it in. You got a couple of days. You got homework tonight. You got homework in the morning. Be ready for the purpose that you will ignite within yourself. It only takes a spark to get a fire going. Light it up.
Yeah, Karen.
Go ahead, and I'm ready to get it in. I feel wonderful. I had shared with y'all my little mirror moment, because y'all already know I love me some me, and I engage in that positive self-talk every single day, sometimes more than once. So again, I want to take this time to say thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in to the Unhinged radio show live on tonight, and extend a heartfelt thank you with a whole lot of love to my Tilted Halo tribe, Miss Natural D, Queen Karen Sims, Queen Audrey Hightower, and of course, that King AP. I'm going to wrap up the show in familiar style. Tonight, I'm going to encourage you all to just be. But tonight, I'm going to encourage you to just be a brat. Yes, I'm encouraging you to practice bratty behavior. And I got to put a little spin on it. I am spelling brat for you all tonight with B-R-A-A-T. Be ready at all times, because you never know which person in your circle may be going to approach you soon to tap into the wealth wellspring of power, the wellspring of knowledge, the wellspring of energy that you yourself carry. So I would encourage you tonight to just be a brat. Be ready at all times. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show Live. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, and we are out.